We did like similar to yesterday, which I think is pretty good. And we did we did quite a bit tonight before we played. And in terms of injuries, knock on wood, so far, we've been fortunate. So we've gone 5 days in a row. We've done a lot of contact. Our guys have done a good job, and we're going to take tomorrow off, and then we'll have a week, really the last week of preparation where we'll do the 3 scrimmages, and then I think we'll really get a chance to get a feel for where we're at.
Josh Cohen, OrlandoMagic.com.
Hey, Cliff. What do you think helped Terrence Ross get into a rhythm in the second half of the year when he really exploded there, especially after the All-Star break?
Well, I think a lot of it, to be honest, was health. Early in the year, he wasn't so injured that he couldn't play, but he wasn't 100%. And, obviously for a guy, he's a range shooter. He needs his legs. He needs to be balanced. And I think that, part of the reason he didn't get off to a great start was just that. I don't think he was 100%. The other part of it is he receives so much special attention. He's done a good job of figuring out how to play against double teams and, getting to the next action. But I would say the biggest factor is he's healthier.
Dan Savage, OrlandoMagic.com.
Hey, Cliff, with the 2 scrimmage games coming up this week, what do you hope to get out of those, and how do you feel about your team going into them?
I think that we've worked well. We've practiced well. Tonight was not as good, but we've practiced well for the most part. And I think the big thing will be just like, training camp, preseason training camp games is, you'll see where we're at. We'll get a better idea offensively and defensively, what things we are, doing well in and what things we're not. And it will give us, I think, a much clearer picture of the things that we have to work on to get ready to play for real.
Chris Hayes, Orlando Sentinel.
Hey, Cliff, back to T. Ross. He's such a momentum type of a guy. How difficult will it be him to feed off of the fact that there's no fans there, and he seems to get in that rhythm when there are fans on their feet and everything?
No, that's a good question. I think that's going to be one of the dynamics for every team and every player that, you're going to have to figure out. And, it's different for NBA players. Obviously when they were in college, high school, whatever, fans and the support and the enthusiasm are a big, big part of basketball. So it's something that we're going to talk about. We actually have an opportunity tomorrow where we're going to be able to go and see what the game management situation is going to look like, but it's going to be different. And again, the teams that adapt to that quicker are going to have an advantage.
Josh Robbins, The Athletic.
Steve, I know we've asked you whether you would consider widening your rotation at a necessity once the games begin, the regular season games begin. How far potentially could you widen it? Could you widen it 11 or 12? Or are you more likely to go 10 or 11?
I think that's like to be determined. I could see easily that we're going to have to play more guys. I think that these scrimmages obviously will give us a better indication of where guys are at. But the other factor is too, Josh, is it's 8 games in 15 nights. So it's not just, the minutes. That's a tough stretch even during the season. And, I just think there's going to be nights where you're going to play a lot more guys than normal.
Just a couple more here. Eric Wilson, 1070.
Hey, Coach. Good evening. Just a quick question. With these scrimmages coming up, is there one focus that you're kind of paying attention to more than another, like offensively or defensively? One aspect of the game?
I think, I mean, for sure, a couple of things, and I would think this would be consistent across the board, is in our scrimmages, the turnovers are super high. Um, we haven't rebounded nearly the way we did during the season, and our transition defense has been poor. But I think those are things that we can correct quickly. But obviously, those are three things that lead directly to winning or losing an NBA game. So those are the things that we talked about yesterday. We talked about again today, and it's not attitudinal. It's just habits, having not played for a long time, and guys trying to find their rhythm.
Okay, last one here. Dan Savage, OrlandoMagic.com.
Cliff, for those scrimmages, how will you treat it lineup-wise? Will it be similar to what we see in a preseason game, or will it be something totally different?
To be honest, I'm going to sit down with David Tenney tomorrow and find out. I mean, we have a number of guys who would be on, if this was a regular season game, would be on minute restrictions. So before I decide how we're going to do it, I'm going to sit down with him and get a plan for each guy going forward through the week, through both of these, the Clippers and the Lakers game.
Okay, thanks so much, Coach.
Thank you.